Well, hey YouTube, so today guys, the original review I had planned for today didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. So I decided to can that video and it may never come out or I'm going to have to redo the entire video. The product I received was very complicated and I really couldn't unbox it effectively, so we're moving on to something else I'm going to be improvising today. Here's something that I've owned for a while now. This is my current Android phone. This is the LG G2. This was released in, I believe, around the spring or summertime of 2013. So this phone is about 3 years old, guys. You can currently find this phone on Amazon for a relatively affordable rate, around $100. So if you want to use my code to buy this thing and support the channel, I would appreciate it. I definitely would. But anyway, guys, back to the phone review. This is a 32GB variant. It has a fairly decent camera. Let me see if I can find the exact megapixel. I don't want to fuck this up. If you're wondering, this phone does in fact work with Verizon, which is something I can't say about the other phones I reviewed so far, as those were mostly third-party budget phones from China, and Verizon has a very, very tough verification process. They don't want just any old phone on their network. They're very strict about that. Only certain phones can get on the network, but fortunately, the LG G2, which is quite affordable these days, is definitely one of those cameras, guys. It has a 13 megapixel camera, which is awesome. It has autofocus, image stabilization. It has flash, obviously. And then the front-facing camera is only about 2 megapixels, which is... They could have improved that. But remember, this came out 3 years ago, guys. And it does... This is something you should be aware of. It only has Android 5.1, I think. Yeah, I believe it's by Android 5.1. There's no Marshmallow at this time. They could release that in the future, but at the time, it's not there. It's a 5.2-inch... I believe this is a 1080p. Yeah, this is a 1080p display, guys. 5.2 inches. It's very nice. Like, I would say this phone is about the limit in terms of getting into the large category. Like the phablet, you know what I'm saying? Phablets. The LG G3 is about 5.5 inches. At that point, I think you're hitting the phablet. About the 5.2 is about the limit on the actual phone category before you go into the phablet, which is a different consumer base in my opinion. But this is indeed the last phone I can think of in terms of size that is right before. So here you go. Here's the actual phone, guys. Here's the home screen. You can't fucking see it because the glare is bad because of this webcam. It's a little bit better. So here's the UI, guys. It's very responsive. Obviously, it's definitely going to be a responsive phone. Obviously, that should be expected there. I mean, benchmarks, guys. Honestly, I don't like benchmarks. I've been doing them in my most recent videos, but I feel like benchmarks are fabricated. Certain phones were made to optimize benchmarks. There was a big scandal that came out recently that suggested that Samsung likes to boost their benchmarks, and other companies don't pay as much money and don't get their benchmarks boosted. So I'm gonna stay away from that on this phone. So one interesting thing about this phone, as you can see, is the button layout. To adjust the volume, you do this button for up, this button for down, and this right here. This actually puts the phone in sleep mode. You see that? Interesting concept. I haven't seen another company do what LG does in that respect. And you have the camera up there if you're wondering, guys. On the front, got your phone speaker. You got your this is the cool thing. You do this. Wait, hold up. Let me turn the phone off first. Like that. See what you're doing? It's like a motion sensor. This thing's like a motion sensor and can be used in certain certain events to make the experience more smoother. I mean, obviously, guys. Because of that, there's no buttons on the bottom here, obviously. You do have touch buttons over here, as you can see. You can put up to 5 here. You can go in your settings. You can choose which ones you want. You can choose where to put them, which is very, very nice, guys. Brightness is okay. Camera is not bad. For 2013 standards, this camera is not bad. The processor, if you want to know the processor, I believe this is a Snapdragon... I should say on here. It's Snapdragon 800. I believe it's a Snapdragon 800 with an Adreno 330. I believe that's how it goes. This is 32 gigabytes. It has 2 gigabytes of RAM, which is very nice and very respectable. And overall, guys, if you want a budget Android smartphone that actually works with Verizon, and also guys, you don't really want to compromise on gaming performance and camera performance, there is simply not a Verizon Android smartphone, right? That you really don't have to compromise with, right? That's cheaper than this phone. It's about $100, a little bit more, and on Amazon right now, right? Unlocked, and basically you're not compromising on anything. It plays the latest games well enough, right? It's pretty good. The camera is fine at 13 megapixels, and overall, there is simply not an Android phone that works on Verizon that's cheaper than this phone and works as effectively. It has a Snapdragon 800, 13 megapixel camera. Works with Verizon. I mean, there's a reason I'm using this phone right now. There's a reason I'm using this phone, and that's the reason. And obviously, guys, if you have a new contract coming up, and you can get your new phone with a subsidy, right? You can get the new phone with a $0 fee. Okay, maybe you don't need this. But if you're the other part of the demographic who probably broke their phone, which I did, I broke my phone, which is why I have to use cheap phones these days, right? Or you're just somebody who can't get a subsidy with their contract. Maybe they don't have Verizon. Maybe they have a phone network that doesn't give them subsidies, right, with their plan. There's simply not a better phone, in my opinion, than the LG G2, which is why I'm using it. I'm just going to be blunt, guys. Overall, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I recommend this phone. And guys, if you want to support the channel, please, I'm begging you, use the link in my description, the Amazon link, and buy it with my link. Or, if you're planning to buy anything on Amazon, you can use that same link and buy anything, and it still supports me, as long as you use that link within 24 hours after clicking on it. And make sure you use the same tab as well. So, yeah. Overall, guys, really hope you enjoyed that video. It's a solid phone. It really is.